everyone, it is time to colour another cute snail, and we have this one to do today. Now the light is a bit odd in here. I'm just going to actually put my lamp on, sorry. It changes it somewhat, but it's, oh sorry, just having to move a few things, apparently knocking over the pencil sharpener. The weather is quite dark, cloudy, we've had snow, very exciting. Right, let's have a look at our little snail now. She's got a, don't know, it's got a fish, look, in a little fish in the shell. I think it's just so cute. Where should we start? Well, let's start a little bit with the water, using Castle Arts Gold pencils. Just to remind you, I'm actually going to start with the phthalo turquoise. I'm going to do the water, okay? So let's go. I'm going to do the bottom part here in this sort of darker green, and then start to fade it a bit like that. Can you see? Trying to fit it around the various plants. Yeah, it was quite exciting. The forecast, it was very strange. They were forecasting snow across various parts of the UK, lots in Scotland, that sort of thing. I was really hoping we would get some, but the weather forecasts were very strange. So the Met Office, who are the people that do generate all the forecasts, they predicted that we would just have sleet, and I was like, oh, that's boring. But hey, you know, it is what it is. Right. We're going to just change colour. Phthalo turquoise to mint green light. Where are you, mint green light? There we go. Sorry, you can't see it. It's actually never was printed properly on my pencil. I'm going to go over what I've done and just extend up. I'm going to put a heavier layer down here. So, well, quite a few layers down here, like this, and then fade it off a bit up here. So yes, so the Met Office said, oh, sleep. The BBC, who take their weather from the Met Office, said there's going to be sleet and then a bit of snow and then sleet. Okay. And then my tablet has weather, and I think it's Google, but I'm not really sure where that weather comes from, to be honest. And it said snow, and I was like, oh, and it did snow, and it snowed yesterday evening quite a lot. But it had already rained. The ground was really wet. It rained first, turned to snow, so the snow settled, but it settled on top of wet, which is really strange. It's firstly just started settling in the areas that were still frozen from where we'd had a frost that morning. But this was evening. Certain areas hadn't really warmed up. Quite sheltered where we are, so the sun doesn't reach us, that sort of thing. Right, that's the next colour, and then I'm going to finish with the mint green, which is oddly much lighter than the mint green light. Naming is a bit odd, I don't know why, but there we go. And again, over everything. So anyway, this morning, so there was a fair bit of snow when I went to sleep, and it was quite hard to see because it was dark, of course. So this morning I woke up hoping that it would be more and pretty, but it was dark when I woke up, and it was exactly the same amount. But by the time it got light, it started to melt. It's sort of, I don't know if it's raining. Everywhere's very wet. Yeah, it is. I can see it now. It's raining. So it's just washing it all away, turning it to horrible slush. It wasn't loads of snow. It was probably, you know, like, I don't know, a few mils really. You know, tiny amount, but it was just exciting because we haven't. And my sister was so jealous because she lives north of me, and the north always gets more snow, but this time she didn't get it. So I was going, ha ha ha. I was being very silly, very immature, and we were competing on how much snow. It was very silly. It was a lot of fun, and she was jealous. I kept sending her photos. Look at our snow. But anyway, this morning she got up, she'd had a little bit, but as I say, it's raining, it's all washing away. It's actually really warm. Look, I've got my sleeves rolled up, I'm really hot. But I have just been doing loads of housework, so that might be something to do. I've been trying to get round to recording a video all morning. So it is now 20 to 10. And I got up at, what time did I get up? 6:30, something like that, 7, I can't really remember. And I was like, right, I'm going to have breakfast and record. But I've got a few chores to do first. So I had to, we're going to do the cleaning today. We didn't do it yesterday. I wasn't feeling too well yesterday. I'm feeling much better today. Had a relaxed day. I think that helped. Anyway, so there, I'm just fiddling around with this, but I think I'm happy with it now. So I'm just going to pop that one back. Now, the very top bit is a bit of a mystery. How do we colour that? Well, not sure. Like this bit around the edge as well. I'm thinking just shell colour. I mean, what's that? I'm going to grab a pretty colour that I like, and I'm just going to do that. I'm going to go for the sepia light. I probably used it earlier. I think I used it on a different snail, but I'm going to use it again. So it's, I'm going to use it quite dark along the bottom actually. Here. Anyway, so I got up and I wanted to, I've got something called Gym Wash, which is a special, what are we doing there? Same thing. I'm going to put it darker at the top, I don't know why. And it soaks, you can soak your clothes and it gets rid of any sort of smell from where you work out and, you know, smell. And also apparently, which it didn't actually do very well, gets rid of the marks from deodorant. Some of my clothes had those sorts of marks, but they didn't really come out. The under the arm was sort of faded. I'm just blowing my nose. I think I could do a pink snail. I think she'll look nice. I'm going to, let me find the pinks. How should we do her? I think because we've got this sort of grey pink, we need to go with pinks that will go with that. Will that work? I'm gonna go with the cobalt purple actually. It's not so much of a pink as a purple. And do some of this. And we've got all these different sections on her, and I'm going to colour where they're in different designs. I'm going to colour them. Now these ones with lines, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on this edge, quite a lot of layers, and then fade towards that side. I'm going to do the same here. So layer it up and fade. I don't know how visible it's going to be, but I'm going to give it a go. It's quite hard. It's a small space. You can just block colour it in if that's easier for you, and if you think it's not worth the effort of trying to do what I'm doing because it's not really showing up. I'm just going to brush that off and see if I can tell. It's okay. I'll carry on. Anyway, so I got up and I put I set clothes on to soak and a wash on, and that was an hour. And then in the meantime I had some breakfast and just some ironing, and then I sorted out the wash that had finished and put that on, some on the airer, some in the dryer, because I've got a lot of washing today, so I don't normally put it much in the dryer, but I did that. Can't really see the dark edges, and I'd quite like to, so what I'm going to do is just fill in these areas. I'm going to find a darker one to make a darker line. Now this one's dotty, I'm going to do that a different colour. What should we do? Let's have a look on my swatch chart. Could go for a really dark, like a mulberry. That might work. Where is it? I've got to find it now. Yeah, so there it is, tipped the wrong way. Need it really sharp. Where's my sharpener? There it is. Oh, I nearly knocked it over early, didn't I? Moved it out of the way. So this is the mulberry. See if you like this. If you don't do it. Simple. So yes, did that, and then put the washing that was soaking into the wash while the dryer was on, clean the kitchen, and my son got up, one of my sons. Well, he was up already actually, he just came down for breakfast. Finished cleaning. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Hard to see, but I think it's better. Now this one here I'm going to do in the that's the cobalt purple, in the lavender. It's not significantly different, but a little bit different. I'm going to sharpen it. I'm going to try and do the same sort of effect. So layering up on this side. I nearly said right, and then I doubted myself. It is though. You can go either way. And yeah, then the rest of the family got up, so I had to go and talk to them. They were stripping the beds, stripping the sheets off, so the other set of washing had finished. So put it on the airer, put the sheets on to wash, put another set of t-shirts in to soak. And that's busy. You can see that one much more. I worked a bit harder, so we don't need the mulberry on that one. But what we've got is these 4 patches and then the main body. Let me see. So we did lavender and cobalt purple. What should we do? The purple work? Yeah, I think the purple will work. What's the purple like? It's a little bit too pink. This is quite pinky, but I think it'll work. Now these ones are a bit different. I think what I'm going to do is just try and make them a bit darker on the edge. So I'm going to layer up around the edge. So just back and forth over what you're doing, back and forth. And then here a bit less, not quite so many layers. And just sort of fade towards the centre, just put a minimum bit and just try and make it so that you can see that it's getting less towards the middle. And you can use several colours to do that if you wish, but I find layering up can usually work. This one's going to be trickier, a bit smaller. So yes, I had quite a busy morning, but it's nice. I cleaned the kitchen while downstairs. Asked husband if he could clean the bathrooms. Now normally he cleans the kitchen and I do the bathrooms and the vacuuming, but I find I don't like doing it. I prefer doing the kitchen. So does he. And I'm like, but why should I always do the one I don't like doing and he always do the one he likes, prefers? I like is a strong word for cleaning. Prefers. So I said to him, can you clean the bathrooms? Also, I couldn't do the bathrooms or the vacuuming because everyone was asleep up there. Now, the main body of our snail, I'm thinking either mauve or mauve deep. I think the mauve deep is really similar to the cobalt purple. So, I could go purple light. No. I think I'm going to go mauve deep. There it is. I think it's a similar colour. I'm going to just put a light layer of mauve deep over the whole of the body. And then go from there really. We took the Christmas decorations down yesterday. It is the 5th of January. I know I'm getting very ahead of myself in my recording again, as I like to do. I'm going to sort of take the head as a separate entity and fade towards the middle and hope that it looks right, because the head would be spherical, wouldn't be flat. She's not very happy. She's not got a very curly smile. There we go. and then similar with the body, so darker here and then sort of fade towards that centre bit, and here, so just do less layers like that. This bit's going to be hard. I'm just going to do a dark line here, look, and then sort of fade downwards. I don't think we necessarily need a dark line between her and this bit. There we go. I might have to go and help my son a bit. He's doing statistical tests in his assignment, and somehow I have a vague memory of how to do it. Now these two bits here, I tend to quite like to do them in coral, but I'm not sure that the orangey pink coral colour is going to really work with what we've got going on here. So I'm actually tempted to do them in a grey or an old rose. I think I'll go old rose. I'm going to wear this pencil out so quickly. I'm going to do it like I did these, so dark to light, so I need to sharpen it. My lovely pencil. I just snapped the end off it too when I put it in the sharpener. Hang on. Oh, my sharpener isn't too full. Oh, I can't get the lead out. I need another pencil. If you can't get the lead out of your pencil, I tend to poke it out, but I use a graphite pencil rather than a coloured pencil. I think it's still stuck in there. Can't see. There's a bit of sharpening in there, so I can't see. Let's get that out. No, it's fine. Got sharpenings all over the desk, but you know, we'll pretend I didn't do that. We'll just sweep them to the side. No one will see, except me. Right, let's sharpen. Yes, my son is doing this sort of statistical tests, and I know how to do them. Vaguely, because I had to do them when I was studying psychology. So he's doing, he has to do mean, median, mode, frequency distributions. They're quite straightforward, standard deviations. If you've done a basic maths, you'll know these. It's GCSE level. But then he has to do some statistical tests, so he needs to do, yeah, I'm happy with that. It was worth all that effort of faffing around with the sharpener. Right, now we need to do these seagrass is what I always think it is. I'm just going to move those pencil sharpeners to the other side of my desk. I can put my elbow in them so easily. So what colour? Well, I'm thinking I quite like a darker version of this bluey colour. I think the viridian might look good. Let's grab that. Here we go. I'm going to do the whole piece of grass in viridian. Yes, I know a little bit about these, what's he doing, chi-squared and ANOVA things. I recognise the names, at least. I remember doing them. They just basically tell you whether something's got a high level of significance, i.e. how likely it is that the result you've got has come about by chance, or whether it actually shows some sort of correlation. And it's quite important, because often you can look at a graph and say, well, it's actually very important. If you look at, you know, sometimes I notice, because having studied it, you notice more. You look at graphs they might publish in a newspaper, or someone might use to try and prove something. I'm going to use the Terre Verde Deep just to put a bit of dark colour at the bottom of these. So they might say, oh, more males do this than females, or whatever, and then they draw a graph. But if you look carefully at the graph, it might be that they've not started at the values at 0, or they've sort of highlighted certain things and not others. It's really interesting having studied research methods. You learn about these things and tricks that people use, and it's quite enlightening, I have to say. Right, I just spat on there when I blew off. They're lovely. Now I want these three here to be a sort of pinky red deep. I'm going to go for the purple deep, because I always like to do my sort of seaweeds in a more of a reddish purplish colour. So, and I think it'll just about work with the other colours that we've got. I'm just going to block these in, I think, see how they look. Yeah, so I find it really interesting when people say, oh, they prove this, and you have a look and you think, did they really? You know, and I know enough to go and look at the research paper and investigate it for myself, which I find fascinating. Other people may not. Now our fish. Now I often do fishes orange, you know, as you do, but I'm thinking that maybe a blue fish might go a little bit better with this colour scheme that we've got going on here. What I am actually going to do is just grab my mint green again and colour around these edges here, because it looks like I have missed a few bits, as I quite often do, and it will just tidy up a bit. Oh, is my husband going down for breakfast at 10 o'clock? I don't like being set that late. Now the fish, as I say, blues. Now I'm thinking the cobalt turquoise green might be a good colour to start with. Now it's got lots of sections and things, but what I'm going to do is just do the tail first. See, although this is called green, I think it's a blue, but there. And then I'm going to use the teal green to do the body. Again, I'm going to sort of ignore these sections, and I'm going to instead make it darker around the edge, like that, and then gently do that. Bring it in a bit like that, so he looks a little bit lighter in the centre than round the edge. I haven't thought too hard about those bubbles yet. I'm just leaving them white at the minute, and I may just leave them white, but we've got this little bit of foliage. I'm thinking I'd quite like to go with this viridian, just to sort of tie it together. So that's what I'm going to do, is sharpen it a bit. It's only going off cold. I was obviously hot work because I was rushing about. Viridian. So I'm going to try and make the bottoms of the leaves a little bit more intense, but it may be tricky because they aren't huge, are they? Just heard my son go, oh, like that. I'm hoping that means that he's worked out something with regards to his work, not that he's just thinking about a game or something. Yeah, there we go. It was interesting. My husband was getting quite cross last night. He was going, oh, a lot of the people in the class are saying this bit's too hard, so they're just going to miss it out because it'll take so long to do. It's not worth it because it's worth so little marks. They can't be bothered. And he was like, what is it with students that can't be bothered? It's quite fascinating to me actually, because they're now paying for their degree. When we did, just putting the viridian back, I'm going to grab the terre verde deep and just do a little bit at the bases of these, just make them a little bit darker. When we were at uni, we didn't pay for our degrees. Most people, well, I think it was means tested, but I had a full grant, so I didn't have to pay. Nobody paid for the course, and some people paid for their living expenses and some people didn't. I'm just going to grab the mauve deep to do the these eyes. but people seem to work harder than they do now, or have a better attitude somehow. But maybe I just mixed with the people that were keen, I don't know. I'm just going to grab this mulberry. I'm going to do a little bit of darker colour just at the base of there. Apparently I'm just going to crumble my pencil. A bit of shadow underneath our leafy hat. So cute, isn't it? Maybe a little bit just there. And I'm actually keen. You know, I said I wasn't going to do a shadow. Oh well, I lied. I'm just keen to, you'd have to do this, to just put a little line around the edge. Yeah, it was, maybe, as I say, maybe I just mixed with the keen people, but I don't remember people. I suppose there were people who left their work till the night before, things like that, but there we go. I'm not entirely sure whether all those colours go together particularly well, but I like it, so you know. I think it's fine. Yes, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and come back tomorrow for the next one. Happy colouring!